our favorite gay atheist. Why? Our favorite gay theist. Why are we watching Murray from Impractical Jokers? I think I saw that show once, but I don't remember any names. D Wood and AP are based. This is true. This is true.
Oh, thank you. Well, was it Ida? Ida is based. Thank you, Ida.
Rage Against the Ummah says, had a Muslim tell me that the Hadiths are more reliable than the New Testament. Didn't Bukhari exist 200 years after Muhammad? Yeah, your Muslim friend here doesn't know what he's talking about. All the Gospels are first century documents. They're within a century of the life of Jesus. Bukhari, their main source, is 200 years after Muhammad, and some of their other Hadith collections are even later. I mean, some of their main other Hadith collections are even later. So yeah, you got a problem. Morning is bro. This is an old video this week. It was an old woman. Oh, did I get the wrong one? Because there was a. Yeah, I saw something circulating. Oh, okay, so Pat's Leather Straps is saying the one that came out that I got the wrong video. The one from this week is an old woman. I will want additional confirmation of that, but that is entirely possible. I saw things circulating, and then I grabbed a video from someone who shared it, but I could have grabbed the wrong one. But even so, it would have been like that. That would have been from a couple months ago or something like that.
So here's the thing. Apparently, so what constitutes grossly offensive speech or grossly offensive content for which you can be prosecuted under this act in the UK, anything that can be perceived or that would be perceived as very likely causing serious distress and serious harm by, for example, downplaying serious instances such as death and things like that. Stuff that we joke about, stuff that we find funny, things that we have dark. There is a whole genre of humor about this, of jokes of comedy about this. It's called dark humor. But apparently, so the law advises that even if you personally find it funny, and even if you think it is dark humor, some dark humor about certain subjects that are too widely held to be controversial and hurtful could lead to, going against this law, and could thereby lead to you being arrested and charged.
Oh, Rebecca would be toast.
That's true.
Be in all kinds of trouble, man.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. My issue with these with rules like this is always if you're making laws about, you need to be very clear on what you do, on how what you do is a crime. When you base a crime, at least in part, on other people's reactions to it, that's pretty creepy stuff. It encourages people to flip out and throw tantrums over stuff, and then to get you arrested.
That's what they do.
Hey, have you guys ever heard of Bob from Speaker's Corner? And would you guys? Who's that?
No, shout out to Bob. Bob is awesome.
Yeah, we all know Bob. We're friends with Bob.
Bob
We've been on with Bob, and I've been at a conference with Bob last year. Was going to be at a conference with Bob this year, but if you're in the UK, they will have a conference this year at some point. Those are all the details I can give you. Bob the Builder. He used to go by Bob the Builder, and then changed it. I wonder if he got sued. I wonder if he got sued. No, you can't do that when you're not the real Bob the Builder.
Send Bob.
Can I make an idol of Allah and worship it? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Shouldn't.
If you're talking about what you're physically able to do, yes, you can. Snopes article. UN says the 70 beheaded Christians has yet to, hitherto, henceforth be verified. The same UN who will take Hamas stats at face value. Did they say that? That'd be stupid. But the UN's pretty stupid. Not very based at all. My atheist friend was so impressed with my Muslim friend that he said, "Has anyone ever told you that you're literally a prophet?" And it was so funny. Yeah, that's good. Definitely say that. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I won't be arrested for saying something on Facebook, at least for now. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Guess I won't be going to the UK anytime soon. They wouldn't like some of my recent Twitter or Reddit activity. I'm too Islamophobic for them. Yep. What's crazy? What's crazy is if you had enough people who just said, "What are you going to lock us up for?" Posting on Facebook. If you had like 1 million people go, "Okay, we're all doing it." Nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. As long as it's some old person, some old guy doing it, then they can lock that person up. Powerful stuff coming out of the new island caliphate. You see, this is proof of Islam. Happy Bama Ramadan. I don't get how a country can be so liberal and so pro-Islam at the same time. It is absolutely insane. It is absolutely
It's not liberal.
insane.
It's just not liberal. It's just this is not liberalism. Liberalism, it's like, this is what happens when people take this whole name and title of liberalism and then completely deviate from the basic fundamentals of liberalism and take it into a different direction. If it was liberalism, you shouldn't have a system where you actively suppress people's right to speak and offend others. This would go against a very famous idea within liberalism, which would be free speech, which would be that people should be able to say whatever they want unless they directly incite or their words directly lead to actual harm to other people, so infringe upon other people's rights. If you violate these things, you are no longer following the idea of liberalism. You're
talking about classical liberalism here, and I'm going to say, on behalf of all Americans everywhere, we are not going to be lectured by a freaking German Turkish dude who's half wolf about liberalism.
Yes.
Everything you say is colored through your German Turkish goggles you wear.
This new liberalism is just a complete violation of everything that liberalism actually stands for.
It's a reversal of many of its core principles.
It's so ridiculous. It goes into an authoritarian direction in many ways, not just in the economic ways, also in the social, in pretty much any way. It's such a clown show.
It is pretty pathetic. What dirt do Muslims in UK have on Starmer? That's what lots of people found out. You don't need a ton of dirt. You need to wire a population, or at least important people in that population, with hey, we'll shower you with praise if you do what we want, and we'll shower you with abuse and charges of Islamophobia if you do something we don't like, and if you have weak-minded, soft-target people like Keir Starmer, you can program them. You can program their behavior over time, and eventually they'll be groveling at your feet because that's what gets them praised by you. And so you're stuck with it. I wouldn't be surprised if the UK changed "God Save the King" to "Allah Save the Sultan." That would be funny. That's what they do. Why does Europe want to be gay for Islam so much? It pisses me off beyond belief. What in this stupidity is going on? Yet Muslims still cry like babies talking about how mistreated they are. Yeah, and that's what Keir was saying. I mean, think about this. He has them come to Westminster for their meal, and you've got the Prime Minister kissing their behinds. The Prime Minister, like every politician, every journalist, every educator, every entertainer, everyone does nothing but praise Islam. And what does he say? Oh, especially during these horrible times of persecution and Islamophobia. You poor people. The entire nation could be groveling at their feet, and they'd still be going, "We're victims. We're victims. Look at us. We're victims." Not a strong culture. Have a good Ash Wednesday and start of Lent, UK. Hey, my name is Momo. I'm a bit homo, but that's okay because Dia is also gay. By the way, I hope you're fine. Bring me Aisha when she's still 9. Surah 33 verses 74 to 75. Before a goat ate them. Yep. Goat ate those verses. Why do these leaders actively want to destroy their nations? I do not understand the psychology, and it makes me want to scream into a pillow.
Because that's what they do.
That's what they do, and I have to say, enough people voted for him. I saw the argument morality being subjective is a fact because people disagree on it. I thought this was a fallacy like a liar's paradox where subjective morality cannot be a fact if subjective thoughts. Well, saying that something is subjective because people disagree on it would be stupid, right? Like if I say 2 + 2 is 4 and you say no, 2 + 2 is 5, then we disagree on it. That does not mean it's subjective and it's just whatever we believe, right? You have to go. The issue you're talking about is meta-ethics. Basically, if there is a foundation that makes certain moral claims true, or that makes moral, if there are moral facts, if there's something that makes moral facts, then morality isn't subjective. If there is no foundation for it and it's all just feelings or how you've been raised or something like that, then it's a different story. But yeah, what you don't say is people disagree on it, therefore it's subjective. Because that would be embarrassingly stupid. So tell your friend that he's really dumb. Super sticker, we had a pair character. Show us, come on, Ecamm, show us the super stickers.
Show me.
I'm going to vomit from all this kissing. Yeah, people are pretty bad. It is pretty terrible. I'm an old person. I'm willing to be arrested for listening to you two problematic dear boys. Thank you for being a hilarious voice of reason. That's what we do.
Thank you. That's what we do.
Ramadan equals intermittent feasting with jihad in between. Intermittent feasting. Intermittent feasting with jihad in between. That's true. I don't care for Europe. I'm an American because I'm an American. I don't care. I'm going to add a cuz there. I don't care for Europe because I'm an American. What has Europe done for us? We had to save them twice from themselves. Good riddance. If it wasn't for us, they'd all be speaking German. If it wasn't for us, what would they be but the smallest province in the Russian Empire? Good riddance. Guys, a little cash, but much love. Thank you. We'll take all the love.
Thank you.
Devin said, when I said Tate wasn't a trafficker, I meant legally, not ontologically, David.
What? What's the point of that?
He said legally, not ontologically.
What's the point of that?
So he's ontologically a trafficker, but legally has not been verified in a court of law. Point was not allow governments act as if someone is guilty before they formally are. AP, I'm a constitutional admin lawyer. I'm very learned on due process.
You are.
Philosophy degree here too. God bless. Yeah, it just doesn't work like that, Devin. When you lock people, if someone is accused of murder and there's credible evidence, what do? They lock the person up even before the trial. Unless Tate has just been lying all along about everything he's done and somehow came up with there ended up being all these people to confirm, yes, he was doing that stuff to us. Unless he's making it all up and they're making it all up and there's just a ton of people making all this up, this dude is guilty. It's just a matter of how much is he guilty of. That's the question. So if he's guilty of a bunch of extreme stuff, here's what you have. If he's guilty of a bunch of extreme stuff, like graping a minor, sex trafficking a minor, and things like that, and he's a dude, remember, we haven't really been covering Tate for a long time, but if you remember, this is a guy who bragged about having 8 different passports and stuff so he could always run, and how he would flee one country and go to another country based on the level of corruption in the government. That way he could always bribe his way out of things. That's a sort of person you'd want to say, we need to keep close tabs on him. Whether he's under arrest or he's under house arrest or judicial control or whatever it is, you need to be keeping an eye on that person, not letting him tour the world. If you're gonna say, here are all the charges against this guy and we have piles and piles of evidence, oh yeah, let's let him go on a world tour, then basically you're saying, then until someone has been proven guilty, they should never be thrown in jail or anything like that. If you've murdered 10 people and you're just running around murdering people, then you haven't been convicted, so don't lock the person up. That seems weird.
I don't even understand. I don't know. I don't remember what you said or what it was in reference to, Devin. But I don't even understand the point here, because I would never suggest, or I don't believe any of us suggested here, that Andrew Tate should be without going through a fair trial, imprisoned or
we want a
killed,
fair
right?
trial, and if he is innocent of anything, we want him declared innocent of that, or declared not guilty. I don't know exactly how things work in Romania.
Nobody suggested that he should just be, without due process, be imprisoned or anything like that. No, I know for a fact that he is a sex trafficker by definition, by the UN definition. By definition, as we understand, he is a sex trafficker. Mm-hmm. He's also a rapist, as it seems, by his own admission and the records on record and so on.
Serial abuser of women.
Nobody here is suggesting that he has been legally convicted of being either of those things. He's still under investigation for both of these, and nobody has suggested that he should receive a sentence immediately without trial for these things. Nobody is making such a suggestion. However, I can definitely say I am all in favor of the United States detaining this person and also starting an investigation here on behalf of the United States. Which,
and that happening?
Happened today. Yes, it actually happened.
Yeah, Florida.
DeSantis said that he will instruct such a process to start immediately, because he personally he doesn't want somebody like that to be here in Florida freely. And they actually just announced that they started an investigation into Andrew Tate and Kristen Tate, and Florida issued a warrant. So good luck with that. But yeah, nothing we said here contradicts with the law.
Hey,
what?
Oh, people are pointing out that you've got a Trump speech now. What is this? What is this speech? What to watch for? President Trump's address to Congress is underway. Well, too bad we've got cooler stuff. We might want to cover this if anything interesting is said. We'll see.
I give the best speeches.
I give the best speeches. They're the most based. Yeah, so on the issue of Andrew Tate, one, Andrew has done some really, really bad, messed up, and illegal stuff. And these are serious, serious crimes. That's one point, Devin. If you disagree with that, then we just have to disagree. Two, we want a fair trial. We want a fair trial, and for him to be convicted of the things that are proven, that he is proven guilty of. Our issue is that he and everyone else around him keeps lying about everything, saying all the charges have been dismissed and blah, 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 and the case file's empty, and it's all just a matrix attack. That's a problem. It's all lies. It's all lies. And when he says, no, this was all from more than 10 years ago. No, it wasn't. That's a lie. Wow. Yeah, and when I never did this, I never did that, I never did this, I never did that. You're contradicting what you said from videos just a couple years ago and so on. So that's the point. Why do we keep blasting away Tate? Because he keeps lying, and there are lots of stupid people out there who don't know any better, and they believe the lies. What do you do? So what do? You just, he's lying to a bunch of people. We'll just keep quiet. No. Got to expose that nonsense.
Yes. Powerful.
And if you've got a problem with that, maybe you're a tater tot. Can you run through the idea of Muslims worshiping Muhammad? Asking Muhammad for intercession is worship, according to some Islamic sources. God bless you both. Well, they talk to Muhammad during their prayers. They say, "Peace be upon you, O Prophet." And so what's going on there? They're praying. They're praying. Your prayers are supposed to be for Allah. Your salah is supposed to be for Allah, and you speak directly to Muhammad. That is the language of direct address. So notice the difference between, oh God, please bless grandma. It's like grandma's dead. Oh God, please bless grandma. That's one thing. Oh grandma, I really love you. That's something else entirely. Now you're talking to grandma. In one case, you're talking to God about grandma. God bless grandma. If I say, oh grandma, now you've got some issues, because now grandma can hear you and stuff. And so the question is, how does this make sense in light of your theology? But yeah, Muslims speak directly to Muhammad during their prayers. There's that. You have Allah and his angels praying for Muhammad or upon Muhammad, according to the Quran itself. But then you just have all of these little things in the Muslim sources about them, like being obsessed with gathering his bodily fluids and stuff like this, and drinking his blood and all kinds of weird stuff. That is, let's just say, things that are not how you would treat an ordinary human being.
Especially Dihe, he enjoyed a lot of that, I would say.
Dihe had a lot of fluid issues with Muhammad. What's wrong with you, man?
But so the aspect of it of asking Muhammad for intercession being considered worship according to Islamic sources. So the Quran seems to, on the one hand, accuse Christians and Jews frequently of worshiping their own priests and their own religious authorities. Some Muslims bring this whole explanation when the whole Mary issue is brought up. So when it says that when it says and he will ask Jesus, did you tell the people take me and my mother as gods besides Allah? We point out that this is a huge misunderstanding, and that obviously the author of the Quran doesn't understand the Trinity and thinks Mary is part of it. And Muslims then say, no, what this means is it's because of the veneration of Mary. This is called worship. This is what the Quran is saying. Well, by the same standard, the way Muslims treat Muhammad would also be pretty much worship. Yep. And among traditionalist Muslims, the Salafis and others, there is some condemnation and objection to how Muslims have historically treated Muhammad, because historically Muslims, especially the Sufis and others, have had this whole thing for Muhammad, like, oh yeah, Muhammad, help us when we die in the afterlife, and so on. And they say that this is equal to worshipping Muhammad, and this is kufr, and makes you a disbeliever. But the same people just don't have any objection to doing their daily prayers, their salahs, and just speaking to Muhammad directly, and so on. It is all a giant mess.
It is, in fact, a big giant mess. And along the lines of what you're referring to there, it's interesting because we've pointed this out before, but Muhammad gave a definition of worship that makes it pretty indisputable that his followers today are worshiping him. So you have in Surah 9, so you got Surah 9, verse 29, fight those who do not believe in Allah, and so on. And then it gives the explanation for why we need to be fought. And so 9:30, that's where Jews call Ezra the son of Allah, and Christians call Jesus the son of Allah, and so on. But then it goes on and it says that Jews and Christians take their priests and rabbis as lords in derogation of Allah. And we got the historical background of that. There was a Christian who challenged Muhammad on that and says, what are you talking about? I think it was a convert. I have to read that again. But he said, hey, what are you talking about? They don't worship their priests and rabbis. And Muhammad responded and said, whenever Allah says that something is halal and your priests or your rabbis make it haram, or if Allah says it's haram and your priests or rabbis make it halal, and you go with them, you're worshiping them. Why is that relevant? Well, we've got entire videos by people like Muhammad Hijab saying, according to the Quran, sex with a 5-year-old would be halal. But you find out from Muhammad, if you apply Muhammad's harm principle in this weird fashion and so on, then you find out that it's haram. It's like, wait a minute, what did you just do? Allah says it's halal, Muhammad says it's haram? What is that? According to Muhammad, that's worship. According to Muhammad, you just worshipped Muhammad. And that's not according to me. That's not according to AP. That's according to Muhammad himself. So they're constantly doing things that, according to their own religion, constitutes worship, and they're doing it towards Muhammad and claiming to be the people who have the pure, undefiled, monotheistic religion. Weird stuff. But the people. I agree. It is important to deal with Islam, but creating an AFD laissez-faire nightmare is not an appropriate response. How do you respond to that, AP?
Well, you should stick to LSD.
Yeah. Stick to what you're good at. doing LSD, apparently.
Why are you answering LSD? What's like? That's what you deal with. Do you have a problem with ACE, ASD, LSD, AFD? I don't know. None of it makes sense.
You are going to be answering LDS. You are going to be stuck with these problems where you're like, oh, I have a problem with Islam, but the people who would actually do something about that problem, they're messed up because of this, and therefore I'd rather be subjugated by Islam.
Look,
and I'm not saying you prefer one or the other. I'm saying sometimes you're going to be stuck with some messed up alternatives.
That's what they do. I said before that there are definitely things that are part of certain parties like the AfD, which I don't agree with. It's also a basically catch-all alternative anti-immigration and anti-Islam party. The thing is, I personally consider it kind of necessary at this point to support a party like that, because despite the fact that there might be things about the party and about such parties that might be problematic, and that I might in the long run not consider worthy supporting, they are at least the ones who do something about this. Would I rather have an alternative that messes things up in a way, or would I just continue? Would I rather just continue with these softies that just sell out the country and let them rape your kids, and just let the Islamists take over, who by now announced that they want to lead the Western nations within the next 50 years? I would rather go with those who want to change that, and may not be perfect. In your face.
AP, you are talking about Scottish liberalism. Scottish liberalism. European liberalism always reaches this point.
European.
No, European. Eric says, could you explain the Islamic principles of permissible deception, taqiyya, tawriya, kitman, and maruna? How much default deception would you say is at work in Muslim, non-Muslim interactions? Normally, Eric, I just go with what the clear passages you have in the Quran and the Hadith. So you have deception, where if someone is going to harm you or persecute you or something like that because of your belief in Islam or because of your belief in your sect of Islam, that you can lie about that. No, I'm not a Muslim. No, I don't believe in Muhammad. I don't believe any of that stuff. What a bunch of nonsense. You could say that as a Muslim if it's to protect yourself. But you'll have Muslims who say that that's the only form of it. One, you'll have Sunnis who say no, that's a Shia practice. Nonsense. It's straight out of the Quran. It's straight out of the Sunni sources as well. Shias had to use it more because Shias were the minority. So Shias had to use it against Sunnis. They say, hey, are you a Shia? No, I'm not. Okay, curse Ali then. And they could do stuff like that if they needed to, or his sons or something like that. So you have that, but you'll have Muslims who say, no, it's just in cases where your life is in danger from people who are persecuting you for being a Muslim or something like that. No, think about Surah 3, verse 28, where it says, don't be friends with the disbelievers unless it's to guard yourselves from them. This isn't saying anything about these guys wanting to kill you because you're Muslim. It's about you not being friendly to people. It's saying don't be friends with these people unless you not being friends with them and you letting them know what you actually want to do, that you plan to subjugate them and so on. If that's going to set them against you and you're a minority, well, don't tell them about that stuff. Pretend to be friendly. So you can pretend to be friendly. And so that's the problem when you're talking about non-Muslim and non-Muslim interactions. If a Muslim is genuinely peaceful, genuinely doesn't want to subjugate the world, genuinely doesn't want to harm you at all, genuinely just wants to live a normal life and so on, what's he going to say? Well, he's going to say that's what he believes. If he wants to subjugate you, but he knows that he's a minority in society and can't do it right now, what's he going to say? He's going to say the exact same thing the actually peaceful Muslim says. And that's kind of the problem with Muslim and non-Muslim interactions. The one who wants to subjugate you will say the exact same thing as the one who doesn't want to subjugate you. And so it becomes very difficult to figure out who you should believe. Rough stuff.
Rough stuff.
You don't know anything. What are you talking about? To be fair, Muslims are the most persecuted group on this awesome channel. That's funny. Two-tier Kier was applying ice cream to their burns from... Proves he watches you. Yes. Yeah, we'll pull a Muhammad Hijab. We know you're watching us! I'm a Christian student at University of Michigan, Dearborn, wondering if either of you plan on visiting Dearborn anytime soon or in the future. Love both of you guys. Y'all have been a huge help for my apologetics club on campus.
Oh, thanks.
I'm sure I'll be back in Dearborn at some point because I've been there like 20 times. But yeah, I don't have anything scheduled in the near future.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow we'll just show up. If I were to draw a basic stick figure and name the figure Muhammad, would this be enough for the followers of the religion of peace to harm me? Yeah, Molly Norris. Remember Molly Norris when she called for an Everybody Draw Muhammad Day? She drew a teacup. And the teacup, she put a little speech bubble, and the teacup was saying, I'm Muhammad. And that was enough for her to get a death sentence. She's been in hiding ever since. So yes, something small. With that said, probably nothing's going to happen because a bunch of people are doing it now. We should go to the UK and get offended whenever Muhammad Hijab posts something. Yeah, keep in mind what a problem this is. You got, hey, you very old person, you posted something offensive. Meanwhile, you got Ali Dawa and stuff posting on YouTube. On YouTube that he wants to kill apostates. Well, he wants to watch as apostates are being killed. And that's fine. Like, that's what I don't get. How is saying, hey, I got a problem with this? That's a hate crime. You need to get locked up. But calling for people to actually be executed for their beliefs, that's fine, as long as you're Muslim.
What's the problem?
And that people can't figure out why they call this two-tier Kier, and you have to be an extremist to spot this issue.
What's the problem?
What's the problem then? Let's see what we got here. Devin again says, unfortunately, Tate is a U.S.-born American citizen not subject to blocks by state officials for movement. If you want to discuss what is lawful and not, I'd invite both of you to... You don't seem like... But I like how I get to fun polemics. Tate is a monster. Govs too. Okay, Tate is a monster, yes. As far as Tate being a U.S.-born American, that has nothing to do with whether he's in Romania and is charged in Romania, right? If I go to China right now and I commit a bunch of crimes, that means they have to say, oh, well, he's an American citizen. He gets to freely move around as much as he wants. No. And again, I don't even know what you're responding to, Devin. We're saying we have a problem because he's a compulsive liar and he keeps lying to tons and tons of people who keep buying his lies. And he goes on these big shows with these big platforms, and they help him lie. What are you objecting to here? If he lies, and we know it's a lie, and we can prove that it's a lie, are you saying we should just let what are you even responding to? We can't figure it out.
It might be a response. It might be a reference to saying that what was that? That Florida just started an investigation. And so on. But yeah, whatever. Yeah. I don't care. As long as the legal procedure, as long as the legal procedure continues. I saw this report by somebody who said, what was it? Breaking Florida Attorney General executes search warrants against Andrew and Tristan Tate.
You're about to say executes Andrew Tate. I was going to be what? No, now I'm going to be agreeing with Devin. He should not have been executed without a fair trial.
No, I read Florida Attorney General executes and saw Andrew Tate, and I got excited for a second, but then apparently, too bad, it's just executes search warrants. But that's what's going on right now. I mean, I wish him good luck, and I think that somebody like Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate should be definitely prosecuted and not let go because they are obviously guilty. That's it. That said, I'm not saying that they should be treated unlawfully.
Nope. And here's the wild thing. What's that 3 countries now where he's being investigated for human trafficking? And he's got like arrest warrants in 2 he's got the Romania where he's actually going to trial, and then he's got, I think, an arrest warrant or an extradition or something like that from the UK, And now they're investigating him in the U.S. as soon as he got here.
Yeah. So now he is under criminal investigation in the U.S. He has an arrest warrant and extradition affirmed in the UK, and he's technically still under arrest in Romania and has to go back by the end of this month.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? He says he's going to go back, but that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I were him, it would be smart to go back, because if they're going to keep dragging their feet as far as the actual trial, you want to be able to say, look, guys, you let me go before and I came back. So let me go again. Let me go again. You know I'm going to come back. It's in his best interest to be. And then what do you need to do? You need to get to Dubai or something like that. So, hey, you let me go to the U.S. and then I came back. And so now I'm just going to do a quick little trip to Dubai.
Powerful.
Tate is trash. Some of the boys in my youth group were following him for a time, and I told them, not good. I've been inspired by you two. I'm starting a YouTube channel focusing on apologetics.
Nice. Yeah, Tate is just a rapist, but other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
Is urinating upon the Quran considered desecration if it's on fire to put out the flames? Sounds like the real Islamic dilemma. Thought I would ask the experts on Quran desecration.
No, this is why you can always set the Quran on fire and then pee on it.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. So yeah, you can quote us on that, sir. You could quote us on that. Well,
powerful.
There's a video by Turkish news company about a London cop converting to Islam. It's called London Policeman in Edgware Road Converts to Islam. His name is PC Paul. PC Paul sounds, that sounds perfect. PC Paul.
Yeah.
I'm PC Paul. Sorry about Romania. Sorry, not about Romania, just Florida. Oh, I have zero clue what's going on in Romania. Like, my knowledge is just, like, I saw the same little trending thing that AP said. I fully support you guys focusing on him. He's a huge danger. Okay, David, I could probably get you into Crapnida if you ever sadly wanted to come. I can't think of a situation where I want to come to Canada. Admin law issues for convicts of moral turpitude. Yeah, I know. I realized that when they had me escorted through the airport with a guy with a machine gun. Oh yeah, no. As far as Florida, yeah, I have no idea what the situation is. If it's but I know that there have been people in Florida that are part of the case. And wasn't that your buddy, your hero Suleiman Ahmed AP, like went and was like harassing someone or something?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Andrew Tate hired him to go and find dirt on somebody.
Yeah, something like that. And I think that was in Florida. That's why I'm wondering if that's why they're jumping on it. So yeah, it's it's a situation where, as far as the Romania charges are concerned, what all the U.S. should be doing as far as those charges are concerned is making sure that Tate gets back by the time he's supposed to be back by. But if there's stuff that he's done in the U.S. Needs to be investigated. So as long as we're in agreement on all that, I don't see why AP is flipping out so much. Remember that logic puzzle from when we were kids about the two doors leading to heaven, hell, and one always lies, but one always tells the truth? We need to identify a test like that for, is it taqiyya? Yeah, we do need some sort of test. Oh, matter of fact, that'd be a funny video. How to tell if a Muslim is practicing taqiyya. It must be nice to be wanted. Yep. Tate is wanted in multiple countries. Does Allah say in Quran, I am God, in those exact words in first person? Does Jibreel say I'm an angel sent by Allah? Is this the word of Allah? Nope, you have all kinds of stuff that no one says as they should.
He says, I am Allah.
He says, I am Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.